Sarah is a 45-year-old woman living in New York City. She works as a marketing director for a large tech company, and every day she is busy with meetings and important projects. Although work takes up most of her time, Sarah always finds ways to maintain a healthy lifestyle, as she knows that health is her most valuable asset. One beautiful morning, as Sarah was on her way to the office, she ran into an old friend, Emma. Emma was someone Sarah had shared many memories with from their college days. They chatted happily about the old times, but the conversation gradually turned to a more serious topic: health and lifestyle as they grow older. "Sarah, have you noticed how quickly time passes? I'm starting to feel like my health isn't what it used to be," Emma sighed. Sarah smiled. "I understand that feeling. But instead of worrying, I've started changing some habits to maintain my health. I think this is the key to aging healthily." Sarah decided to share with Emma the 5 golden habits she had adopted to maintain her health while living a busy life. And that's when the story about the journey of maintaining health in a world full of work and responsibilities began. "The first habit is to exercise every day," Sarah said. "Whether it's work or personal life, I always dedicate at least 30 minutes each day to exercise. Sometimes it's just a brisk walk around the park in the morning, or attending a yoga class at the end of the day. The feeling of movement in my body makes me feel full of energy and ready to face any challenges." Emma nodded, understanding the importance of maintaining regular physical activity. She knew that physical health is an essential factor for a long and healthy life. Sarah continued, "The second habit is eating healthy. I never skip breakfast and always make sure to eat enough fruits, vegetables, and protein-rich foods. The challenge is that in a busy work life, I can easily fall into the habit of eating quick and unhealthy meals. But I've learned to prepare healthy snacks at home to take with me every day. This helps me avoid fast food and provides enough energy for the entire workday." "So, what's the third habit?" Emma asked, curious. Sarah looked at Emma and smiled gently. "It's having a positive mindset. I always try to look at things from a positive perspective, no matter how difficult they may be. Optimism not only helps me cope with stress, but also maintains my mental health." Emma listened attentively, feeling every word Sarah spoke. She began to realize that maintaining a healthy lifestyle wasn't something too complicated, but rather just about adopting simple habits and consistently following through. Sarah continued sharing. "The fourth habit is maintaining social relationships. I know that a busy work life can easily make us forget to connect with family and friends, but I always make an effort to spend time with my loved ones. They are a great source of support that helps me get through the stresses of work. Additionally, I also participate in community activities and support groups, which helps me always feel connected and not alone." Emma smiled. "I really understand that. When under pressure, just having a friend to talk to makes me feel so much lighter." Sarah nodded. "Exactly. Finally, my fifth habit is getting enough sleep. I always prioritize sleep, not just because my body needs to recover, but also to relax my mind. Every night, I try to sleep 7 to 8 hours. Sleep not only helps me maintain energy for the next day, but also improves memory and concentration." Emma felt that Sarah's words were like a bright light, guiding her along a clear path to maintaining her health as she grew older. She smiled brightly and thanked Sarah for the valuable advice. "I'll start making changes today." Emma looked at Sarah, sensing the change in her eyes, as if those golden habits had truly transformed Sarah's life. "Sarah, it sounds easy, but how do you manage to maintain all these habits with such a hectic work schedule?" Sarah smiled, unable to hide the satisfaction in her eyes. "At first, it was really not easy at all, but I learned how to organize and prioritize these habits. For example, with exercise, I don't treat it as a task, but rather as part of my daily routine. Every morning, I wake up 30 minutes earlier to walk around the park before starting work. If I don't have time in the morning, I'll take a walk during my lunch break. The key is not to skip it." Emma nodded. "What about eating healthy?" Sarah continued. "For eating, I learned to meal prep on the weekends. On Monday, I prepare snacks and main meals for the entire week. This helps me save time during workdays, while still ensuring I have nutritious meals. And what about getting enough sleep? Emma asked next. For sleep, I never work past my bedtime. I always consider going to bed on time as important a habit as any other task. Getting a good night's sleep helps me stay alert and ready for any challenge. So, how do you feel after maintaining these habits? Emma asked, curious. Sarah looked out the window, her eyes lighting up. I feel healthier, less stressed, and most importantly, I feel like I'm living life to the fullest. Emma listened to Sarah with admiration. She could feel the clear change in the way Sarah spoke about her life. Sarah wasn't just sharing habits, but also inspiring her with how each habit could lead to significant changes in health and mindset. So these habits really help you feel healthier? Emma asked, her eyes full of curiosity. Definitely, Sarah replied, her eyes filled with confidence. After adopting these habits, I've noticed a significant change. I don't just feel better physically, but my mental strength has improved as well. Before, I would easily feel tired and stressed from work, but now I always have the energy to work more efficiently, while still staying calm and confident in stressful situations. Sarah continued, by maintaining regular exercise and eating healthy, I've lost weight and feel lighter. This has also helped improve my sleep. Moreover, I've realized that with a positive mindset, facing challenges becomes much easier. Emma began to feel as though a new door had opened before her. She knew that she, too, could adopt these habits and take control of her health, just like Sarah. Sarah smiled as she saw the change in Emma's expression. If I can do it, you can do it too. It's all about habits and determination. After listening to Sarah share the importance of exercise, Emma began to see more clearly how to maintain her health as she got older. However, one thing Emma still felt uncertain about was her diet. She was always busy with work and sometimes ate hurriedly, which made her feel low on energy. Sarah smiled and said, Emma, a healthy diet is the foundation for our body to function well. It not only helps you maintain your figure, but also keeps your organs healthy. I used to make the mistake of thinking that a meal just needed to be quick and filling. But then I realized that the body needs quality nutrients, not just food quantity. Emma nodded slightly, feeling the truth in Sarah's words. She had often eaten a lot of processed foods, drank coffee instead of having breakfast, and felt her body growing more and more fatigued. Sarah continued, I changed the way I prepare my meals. At the beginning of the week, I spend a few hours preparing meals for the entire week. I cook simple dishes like fresh vegetable salads, grilled chicken, and salmon. The food must include enough fiber, vitamins, and protein to keep my body energized and fight off illness. Sarah looked at Emma and continued, We don't always have time to prepare meals during the day, but if you prep ahead of time, you'll always have better options instead of resorting to fast food. Greens, fruits, and whole grains are always my top choices. What about dinner? Emma asked, starting to feel curious about this healthy eating routine. For dinner, I usually eat something lighter. For example, vegetable soup, a little quinoa or brown rice, combined with a protein source like fish or tofu. This helps me feel full without being too heavy before bed. And don't forget to drink enough water, because sometimes our bodies feel tired just because we're dehydrated, Sarah explained. Emma listened, nodded, and felt like she understood more about how to maintain a healthy diet. She also realized that these seemingly simple habits could make a big difference in maintaining long-term health. Sarah continued to explain, Another important thing is that we don't just need to eat healthy foods, but we also need to know how to eat properly. Don't eat until you're full, because that will make it hard for your body to digest and can make you feel fatigued. I always eat slowly, savoring every bite and enjoying the flavors of the food. When I eat like this, I not only provide nutrition for my body, but also create a sense of satisfaction and happiness. Emma felt she had learned a lot from Sarah. In the past, she used to eat quickly because of her busy work schedule and never thought about fully enjoying a meal. She started to realize that a delicious meal is not just about eating enough, but also about how to savor and provide energy for the body. Do you ever feel deprived or crave unhealthy foods? Emma asked, still curious about the patience Sarah had with her eating habits. Sarah smiled softly. Sometimes I do crave unhealthy foods, like pizza or sweets. But instead of completely avoiding them, I create a balance. I'll occasionally have a slice of pizza, but the key is not letting it become a daily habit. I eat those foods in moderation and always combine them with a healthy eating routine. Sarah looked at Emma, her eyes full of encouragement. Maintaining a healthy eating routine isn't about giving up the foods you love entirely, but knowing how to balance and choose the right moments. Emma smiled, feeling relieved. She understood that instead of forcing herself into a strict diet, she just needed to gradually change and create a balanced lifestyle. Sarah looked into Emma's eyes, noticing how attentively she was listening. After sharing about her diet, Sarah continued with the third habit she considered just as important: a positive mindset. Emma, have you ever noticed how our thoughts directly affect our health? Sarah began. A positive mindset not only helps you overcome difficulties, but it also helps keep your body healthier. I've learned that if I always focus on the positive side of every issue, it's easier for me to maintain both physical and mental health. Emma looked at Sarah with some skepticism. But can positive thinking really change everything? Can stress from work and life's challenges be changed just by thinking positively? Sarah smiled. It's true that just thinking positively won't automatically change everything. But optimism helps me see things from a different perspective. It helps me avoid becoming too stressed when faced with difficulties. When I face a challenge, I remind myself that it's just a part of the journey, and I can always find a way to overcome it. Sarah continued, a positive mindset also helps keep our immune system strong. Many studies have shown that people with a positive outlook tend to get sick less often and recover more quickly when they do. I don't just focus on the negatives, but always find a lesson in each challenge. So what do you do to maintain optimism? Emma asked, now feeling intrigued. Sarah replied, I spend time meditating, reading positive books, and participating in outdoor activities. These small things help me maintain peace of mind and keep a positive attitude, even when life can get stressful. Emma began to feel a new light in her soul. She realized that optimism is not just an emotional state, but a habit that can be practiced and maintained. She looked at Sarah and asked, so, do you have any specific ways to maintain optimism during difficult times? Sarah thought for a moment before answering. When faced with a challenge or a big problem, instead of focusing solely on the difficulty, I always ask myself, what can I learn from this situation? This helps me not feel discouraged and always maintain a positive outlook on life's problems. I also frequently remind myself that challenges are a natural part of life, and we can overcome them if we keep our spirits strong. This really changes the way I think, Emma said, feeling like she was starting to grasp a powerful tool. But how do you avoid feeling overwhelmed when work and life pressures pile up? Sarah smiled. An important part of maintaining optimism is knowing your limits and taking care of yourself. I always make time to rest, whether it's a quiet afternoon, reading a book, or a short walk in the park. This not only helps me recharge, but also keeps my mind calm and clear. Emma felt a sense of relief in her heart. She realized that maintaining optimism isn't something too difficult, but rather a habit that can be practiced every day. She decided she would start applying Sarah's advice to her life immediately. Thanks, Sarah. I really feel more motivated to make a change, Emma said, her eyes filled with hope. Sarah smiled gently. You'll do it. Just take it one step at a time. After sharing about the importance of a positive mindset, Sarah continued with another habit she considered very important: social communication and community connection. Emma, did you know that social relationships can have a huge impact on our health? Sarah asked, grabbing Emma's attention. When we maintain relationships and communicate with those around us, it not only makes you feel loved, but also helps keep your mind sharp and happy. That's why I always try to stay in touch with friends and family and participate in community activities. Emma was a bit surprised. But with such a busy work schedule, how do you manage to maintain those relationships? Sarah smiled. I've learned to prioritize. Although work is very important, so is family and friends. I set aside time on weekends to meet up with friends or take part in volunteer activities. Sometimes, just a phone call or a simple message is enough to maintain a connection. Sarah continued, really, when I feel stressed from work or life, talking with friends or participating in community groups helps me relax and recharge. It also allows me to learn new things, expand my perspective, and create a sense of purpose in life. Emma nodded, starting to realize the importance of maintaining social relationships. She wondered how long it had been since she called any old friends or participated in any community activities. Sarah saw the change in Emma's eyes and said, when we connect with the community, we're not only helping ourselves, but also helping others. The feeling of giving, whether it's time or care, is an important part of maintaining mental health. Emma felt the power of social connection that Sarah mentioned. She realized that, over the past period, she had not been dedicating enough time to family and friends because of work. This made her start thinking about making a change. But don't you feel exhausted from participating in so many activities? Emma asked, still a bit worried. Sarah smiled. I understand that feeling. But connecting doesn't mean you have to participate in everything. You just need to find activities that suit you and that you truly enjoy. A simple dinner with family or joining an online chat with friends can also be meaningful connections. The important thing is to create space to nurture relationships and don't let work take up all your time. Emma thought carefully, recalling times when she felt lonely. Even though she was surrounded by familiar faces, she promised herself that she needed to change how she viewed social relationships. Sarah continued, once you maintain healthy social relationships, life will feel much more meaningful. I feel lucky to have friends who are willing to share both joy and sorrow. When you have a support network, even in difficult times, you won't feel alone. Emma smiled, feeling like a new light had entered her heart. She decided she would be more proactive in maintaining relationships and not let work distract her from the important values in life. Definitely, I'll start today, Emma said, with a renewed sense of determination. After sharing about social communication and community connection, Sarah moved on to the final habit she considered essential in the journey to maintain health: sleep. Emma, did you know that sleep is not only important for our body, but also for our mind? Sarah began, feeling this was crucial. I've realized that when I get enough and quality sleep, my body recovers quickly and my mind becomes clearer. Emma listened, knowing that her busy work schedule had often caused her to stay up late to finish projects. She admitted that she often neglected sleep to have more time for work, but now, after Sarah's words, she began to rethink. So, what do you do to ensure you get quality sleep? Emma asked, feeling intrigued. Sarah smiled. I always try to go to bed at the same time every night. This not only helps my body get used to a natural rhythm, but also makes it easier for me to fall asleep. I also stay away from electronic devices, like my phone or computer, at least an hour before bed, because the blue light from screens reduces the quality of sleep. Emma nodded. I really need to change this habit. Sometimes I just watch a video or reply to emails before bed, but I'm sure it affects my sleep. Exactly, Sarah continued. In addition, I also create a quiet, comfortable sleep environment. A cool, noise-free bedroom helps me relax and fall into a deeper sleep more easily. Sarah continued to explain, sleep not only helps the body recover, but also regenerates energy for the brain. When we get enough sleep, our body has time to repair damaged cells, strengthen the immune system, and improve concentration. If you're sleep deprived, you'll feel tired, low on energy, and struggle to stay alert at work. Emma began to understand more clearly the importance of getting enough sleep. She had stayed up late many times because of work, and sometimes felt like she couldn't concentrate or felt stressed the entire next day. But now, with Sarah's insights, she realized that sleep could be the key to resolving these issues. I really understand now, Emma said. I need to prioritize sleep and not let work take up all my rest time. Sarah nodded. Exactly. When we get enough sleep, we can work more effectively, make sound decisions, and maintain a positive mindset. Moreover, proper rest helps reduce stress, which in turn improves relationships around us and creates a healthier life. So, do you have any tips for maintaining good sleep in a busy life? Emma asked. Sarah shared, sometimes, I take time to relax before bed, like reading a book or listening to soft music. This helps my body and mind relax, creating a state of readiness for sleep. Emma felt her mind lighten. She realized that sleep isn't just about lying in bed, but a habit that can be nurtured and improved to bring the maximum benefits to her health. After listening to Sarah share the golden habits for maintaining health, Emma felt as though she had just received a map to guide her toward a healthier life. She not only learned how to eat healthily and stay active, but also understood that optimism and social connections are key factors in keeping a strong mindset. And finally, getting enough and quality sleep is the key to regenerating energy for both the body and the mind. Sarah, thank you so much. Your advice really opened up a new path for me. I never thought changing habits could be so simple and effective, Emma said, her voice full of gratitude. Sarah smiled. I'm glad I could help. As long as you start with small steps and make gradual changes, you'll notice the difference. Health is not something far away. It's the habits we maintain every day. Emma looked into Sarah's eyes, feeling her heart lightened and filled with hope. She knew that no matter how busy life got, if she prioritized and took care of herself, she would have a healthy and happy life. Starting today, I will begin. Thank you for sharing these tips with me, Emma said, flashing a bright smile. Sarah looked at her, her eyes warm. You'll do it.